Day 10. How to Process Emotions. Hi, and welcome back to Day 10 of How to Meditate. As always, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist, John, and today we're going to learn how to process our emotions. Have you ever wondered what it really means to sit with it? As a therapist, when I tell my clients to sit with it, what I'm really asking them to do is to allow themselves to feel their feelings. But there's one problem with this. Over the years of doing therapy, it's become very apparent that the vast majority of people have never been taught how to process their emotions. Well, this changes today. In previous sessions, I said that sanity begins when we're able to pop out of our thoughts and think about our thinking. In order to pop out of your thoughts, it helps to know what they're made out of. So this meditation is going to be a bit different. It's more educational. It involves more instruction from me, so it might not be as relaxing as some of our previous sessions together. Instead, it's more about learning who you are, and it may be the most important 15 minutes of your life. Let's get to work. Okay, so let's start by settling in here. Get into a comfortable position, eyes closed or open, softly gazing at the ground. Now let's start by taking a couple of deep breaths in together. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you take another deep breath in, I want you to bring your full attention to the feeling of that incoming breath. And then as you exhale out, there's a downward motion, like you're sinking into the body. On the next breath in, make sure you're stretching out the spine. And then as you breathe out, you can make your exhale nice and long here, breathing out any tension. Continue to breathe, and as you do a quick body scan, deliberately softening the worry lines in your forehead, relaxing your cheeks and your jaw, easing up your shoulders. Another deep breath in. And nice long exhale. The idea behind today's meditation is that I will be guiding you through the step-by-step process of processing your emotions. In doing so, I want you to make your home base the sound of my sexy, soothing voice. As conceited as that might sound, it's because there's a lot of steps involved. The first step to processing your emotions is embracing curiosity. Curiosity is the strong desire to know or learn something new about a topic, situation, or person. Today's topic is all about focusing on your inner world. Curiosity isn't just the desire to learn, but it's the desire to learn in a non-judgmental way. This is important because judgments are the single biggest obstacle that gets in the way of us being able to explore our feelings. So let's get the processing started. Your first step is that I want you to bring into your mind's eye a situation you're currently dealing with. I want a situation that's mildly disturbing your peace. I don't want something that's too traumatic, but I do want something that will stir up some mild emotions. Maybe it's a person you're currently fighting with, like a breakup. Maybe it's a situation with a lot of stress and uncertainty surrounding it, like searching for a new job or moving. Or maybe it's something that's constantly ruminating in your head and it's stuck in your mind like a catchy song. Again, the instruction is to think of something that's currently disturbing your peace. I want you to take the top off of any part of you that may be suppressing your emotions and feelings around the situation. And I want you to acknowledge and allow yourself to feel it. The idea here is to let your thoughts and your feelings about the situation run wild in your mind unfiltered so we can feel the emotion we typically ball up as it starts to course through our body. Try this for a bit. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Beautiful. So today might get a little emotional, and that's okay. For this next part, I want you to do a body scan. Where do you feel the emotional energy starting to stir up in your body? Maybe you feel something in your chest, in your shoulders, your neck, tension starting to run down your spine. It's common for our bodies to register our emotions before we're even able to become aware of them mentally. Notice where you're feeling it in your body and what physical sensations you're also feeling for a bit. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, so now I want you to pop out of your thoughts and to start thinking about your thinking. Get curious about what you're feeling regarding this situation. How you're thinking about this situation will influence the emotions you experience. For example, if you feel like you've been wronged by a person, then you might experience the emotions of anger, betrayal, hate, or disgust. If you're feeling like things are uncertain or too much for you to handle, then you might experience the emotions of stress, being overwhelmed, feeling anxious, feeling vulnerable, or in a place of fear. And if you're feeling like things aren't going as planned, then you might experience the emotions of disappointment, regret, frustration, or discouragement. The idea here is to see what type of thoughts you're having about the situation and then try to label them with an emotion that best describes how you feel. Try this for a bit. Good. So what emotion did you land on? It's important that you acknowledge and allow yourself to become aware of this emotion. Labeling the emotion we're feeling allows us to become aware that this is how we're feeling. As obvious as this might sound, it's important because labeling our feelings gives us the clarity to understand why we feel the way that we're feeling and unlocks the ability to communicate this not only with ourselves, but to the people around us. Going back to what you're feeling in this present moment, is it stress? Is it hurt? Is it disappointment? Or maybe it's something more peaceful like relaxed. I want you to label the emotion and allow yourself to acknowledge that emotion. So you know the emotion. Now, what is the story you're telling yourself about feeling that emotion? What I mean when I ask this is what are the barriers that might get in the way of you being able to acknowledge you're feeling this way? Are you ashamed that you might be scared about a situation? Is it hard to admit that you're angry at someone? Do you have pride that gets in the way of admitting that you're bothered? Do you feel like you're a bad person for feeling the way that you feel? What's the story you're telling yourself about your feelings? Okay, we're almost done. For a lot of us, this practice is not easy, but you're doing great. Our last task for the day is to show ourselves some self compassion. A lot of us weren't raised in households that taught us that our feelings mattered. But no, you are worthy of feeling the way that you feel, regardless of any judgment or negative thought that might be telling you otherwise. The instruction is to validate the way you feel and show yourself the support and love you would show a loved one if they were struggling with having the same feelings. Use the label, I'm worthy of feeling this way, and repeat it softly in your head over and over again. And now for this last bit, let go of everything. You can stop doing all this exploration of your inner world and can just be still. So, whether or not you like this practice, the insight we gained here is invaluable. You now know the steps it takes to process your emotions. So, just in case you forgot, let's do a quick review. 1. Get curious about your emotions. 2. Acknowledging and allowing ourselves to feel our emotions unrestricted. 3. Feeling the emotions in our body. 4. Letting those emotions exist without judgment. 5. Not feeling the need to label these emotions as good or bad, or as right or wrong. And finally, 6. Validating our feelings and showing ourselves support and compassion. Sanity is the ability to snap out of the trance of our own thinking. But in order to do this, it helps to notice that we're in the trance in the first place. Getting to know our judgments, the voice of our inner critic, the barriers that prevent us from seeing the full picture, allows us to get more specific about what our thinking is made of. The next time you're stuck inside a bad thought loop, see if you can pop out by starting to think about your thinking and then watch and listen, but in a relaxed way, not believing the thoughts, but kind of bemused by them. This gives us more space and ultimately more autonomy and freedom. And these are the steps to reclaiming your sanity. Okay, you can open your eyes. Sanity starts here. Tomorrow, I promise, we'll go back to doing something a little more relaxing. Thank you for your practice. God bless.